So this is my EDC gear. Somehow, some way I've carried every single item here. Obviously not all at the same time, but in some weird configuration, somehow, some way I've carried everything here. As far as EDC, for me, it is stuff that I feel like I need to have on a daily basis. If I don't have it, I feel like I'm missing something or I'm gonna need it, and I feel icky without it. So I'm a little bit on the more minimalist type of thing now versus before. It was a whole ordeal before I was, heading out. We'll start with like the more generic stuff and then we'll get in, well, I guess everything here is pretty generic, but we'll start with the basics. Alrighty, so starting with the Amazon Special wallet. I think I bought this from Amazon. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure. This thing has been an absolute trooper. The Velcro is still pretty Velcro-y. I needed something that can hold cards that are a little bit bigger than your traditional size, and this one does it very, very well. It opens up and I can still carry cash, not like one of those weird like money clip things. I know you can carry some cash, but with this, I know I can carry quite a bit. Also, it has, some hidden compartments, which is always nice and dandy. This thing has been with me for quite some time and I am very, very happy. So my only gripe about this wallet here is the fact that it's pretty bulky, right? So the first time that I loaded it up, I put it in my back pocket and we were going to the beach. About an hour in, I could not feel my right butt cheek. So I had to turn over to front carry. So now I carry it in my front and left pocket. And ever since then, it's been pretty great. But something this big, something this bulky cannot go back there unless you don't want to feel your legs after a 30-minute drive. Alrighty, so the phone. The iPhone, you already know. You gotta have it. If you're an Android type of guy, I'm not gonna bully you. I'm sure someone else will. But this is an iPhone. I don't know. It was Sandy's old iPhone. And the only reason I got a new iPhone was because I left my phone on the floor. Sounds crazy, but it was ran over by a tractor trailer. And long story short, well, it didn't survive, but it did. The whole back kind of got destroyed. The front was perfectly fine and operable, but Sandy was like, oh, your phone is broken. Let's get you a new one. And then I was like, no, I don't want to spend money on a phone. So we bought her a phone and then I got her old one. It works. Let's look at the keys. So this is a key to a 2015 Toyota Corolla. This thing is an absolute unit. It's my daily driver. I drive around 40 miles to work every day and I just don't want to do that to the Tundra. The Corolla actually just crossed 100,000 miles, which is pretty dang sweet. For work, I use this bulkier carabiner. Now, carabiners, I went on a little bit of a craze. I still don't feel like I have like a cool carabiner or one that I'm really proud of, I guess you could say, but this one definitely does the job. So it's pretty big. That is good for putting it onto your pants. So if you're at work, you're not really there to look good unless I guess you're a model or something, but I'm not. It has a big hoop. So you just put that bad boy on and you're good to go. Sometimes, it gets a little bit active at work. So having a lock on there is what I wanted this carabiner for. Being able to make sure that this key isn't coming off was, the main point for that lock. But I later realized that there was different type of carabiners. And then that's when I bought this one. The last one was a little bit smaller without a lock. But then I realized that there was these. I bought this one from Walmart and it is a cheap POS, if you know what that means, point of sale. This thing is garbage. Like that I can put my keys in here and then clip this to my pants, but it didn't give me confidence. This thing feels like I could bend it even though I can't. I'm still on the hunt. So if you have carabiners that you could suggest me that maybe has a separate compartment and has a decent sized loop. I don't want something too big, don't want something too small. Suggest something down below and maybe it'll be in my next video. This carabiner right here stole my little heart, okay? This thing is an absolute unit. I even got a different key ring. It's the dark color key ring. Jeez, look at that. I think it looks pretty sweet. Now, this carabiner right here has a bunch of different functions. It has a bottle opener. I didn't know that. I had to read the instructions again because I don't drink anything out of bottles. But what I like about it right here, gives you these little indentations, lets you know where to put your finger. So you can put your finger in right there. Right at the bottom right here, where my thumb is, or my index finger, if you aren't careful, it'll pinch you. Not that bad. It's really not It's really not too bad, but it does get you. This so far is my favorite carabiner. I'm like finding out new things as I go. I mentioned earlier that I wanted it to have separate compartments, and this thing, engineering masterpiece, I guess you could say. All right, last shot. This is your last and final warning. Subscribe, because we are only 3 subscribers from subscription goal of the month, 1 million. When you push down, right, to open it, hold on, it can't go through. So, ow. In a way, it is a separate compartment, even though it's not. Super, super sick. This carabiner right here is my favorite. I am a really, really big fan of it. So I have 3. This one, I bought them, so I'm just gonna keep them. I think it was $2. This one is my go-to. It's my work one. Wondering why there's tape. It had a branding there. I didn't really like it, so I blacked it out with electrical tape. And then over here is the, I don't know, it says titanium. I don't know if it's really titanium, but it definitely doesn't feel flimsy. It feels good, nice, high quality. I love it. I think it's probably my favorite carabiner so far. If you guys have any other carabiners that are kind of on this level, this is what I'm looking for, let me know. Moving along, this part is probably my favorite, my watch. These watches right here are literally, I mean, you can see I have a little bit of a tan line going, a watch line. I don't know, call it what you want. This has been my absolute go-to. Oh, that's upside down. My absolute go-to right here. G-Shock, they call it the Cassie Oak because it looks like another very expensive watch. But this thing is absolute money. I struggled to read the time on it because the minute marks were kind of hard to see. I got used to it, but this thing is an absolute trooper. You just put it on, you run it, you gun it, and you're very, very happy with it. So you can see it a little bit better, but it's not very well taken care of. And I like that. Don't get me wrong. I really like that it has like little dings and stuff. I still remember this one. There's a scratch up here. It's not picking it up, but I got it at Duck Donuts. I was at Duck Donuts and I don't know how I didn't see the counter, but I didn't. And there was a screw and I hit it. So I remember that. That way. Super cool. I love this watch. This will be my forever watch for sure. And then this guy comes in. This is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. This thing is an absolute unit. This is my favorite watch as of right now, but I just got it today. So we'll see how it goes. My main thing about these smartwatches, and the main reason I liked this watch is this watch, I leave it on at all times. I shower with it, I sleep with it, I do everything. This watch, eventually I have to take it off to shower and to charge it. Some people shower with this. If you have this watch and you shower with it, let me know. It's supposed to be rated, you know, very highly in the water. Is that a scratch already? Dang. I don't know. They say it's supposed to be rated pretty highly in the water, but me personally, I got it more for working out and just tracking my exercise. And then whenever, you know, I'm out camping or whatever, I feel like this would just suit me a lot better, which I'm very happy with. So I believe since I've gotten out of high school, watches were kind of a thing that I just like to have. And for a long time, I would just buy $20 Casios from Walmart because I lose a lot of my stuff. I thought it was just easier. If I lose a $20 watch, whatever, cool beans, we'll just call it a day. But now I actually found a way to keep track of my things, pretty much the table right here. Whenever I get home, just place everything down and then it's ready to go the next time I need to head out. I thought, you know what, I can buy a little bit more pricier things and just keep track of them better. So this watch, I think, was like $200. This watch, we're not going to talk about. All right, knives. So this is where it started for me. And I may be wrong, but I think this is where it started for a lot of people. Me personally, I blame Amazon, all right? You get home and there's a package outside and you cannot wait to open it. Now you have to run inside and find something to cut it with. Usually you just pull out a key and that'll do the trick. But you can whip out one of these bad boys and look like an absolute pro. I started with these two. This was actually, I believe, my very, very first one, which is pretty sick that I still have it. So I started out with Walmart knives and I just, you know, used them, abused them, and then bought another one until I started watching more of the EDC type of videos. And then I heard about this guy right here, which we'll get to in a little bit. Long story short, I was happy with the cheapo Walmart knives because I didn't see what the newer or pricier knives really offered, because I'm not a nerd like that. I don't really care about the steel or if the handle will tickle you when you try to cut open a package. I don't know. I just liked the way the knife looked and I purchased it. I'll show you guys what I'm working with. So this, I gotta say, maybe 3 years old. You can see it has its wear and tear. Ozark Trail, bada boom, bada bing. This thing has been through everything. Wow, call me Dr. Seuss. Ozark Trail, you can see it has a little bit of a blemish right there. I don't know what that is. The blade itself still cuts. Knife is made to cut things. I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not. I just figured that out. And it still cuts things, so still functional. You don't need to spend a lot of money on these. You may be asking what this Velcro is. I had a bootleg molly panel set up in my last truck, and I just Velcroed it and just kind of stuck it onto my truck, and it worked. That's what I used for a very long time. Now, the reason I wanted a newer knife or a cooler knife was for this whole thingy right here. Ready, ready, ready? That, yeah, it doesn't do that cool flip out thing. So that's where it started for me. And then I went and got this guy. I said, you know what? I don't need that flippy out thing. I just need something that was pretty dang stout. And this thing right here, color of the handle, not the coolest, but I'm a fan. The blade itself, really, really strong. I used it to sharpen some sticks at camp once. Other than that, it's been used to pry things. It's been used to cut Amazon packages and just other miscellaneous things. It feels really good. As far as just a camp knife, this is still what I'm going to be running. Like, I just put it in my camping bag, and I'm very happy with it. As far as like the blade, I don't know what steel it is. It is probably made in China, but this thing is an absolute unit. So don't sleep on Ozark Trail. Then I went back to wanting the flippy out thing, and this was my first flippy out knife. Thought I was a big baller when I got this one. Check that out. This brand, not sure how to say it, so I'm not going to embarrass myself. It's pretty solid. This thing, I will say, the blade though, not the best. It does bend up a little bit easier, chips way easier, and you can tell these two, stout, sturdy, they feel great, but this one kind of has a little bit of a rattle to it. It doesn't feel the best. This feels very, very plasticky. It just feels kind of tragic, but it does hold a very nice spot in my heart. I like this one a lot. This guy, on the other hand, is an absolute unit. So this is the Civivi knife. It is one of their mini ones, and this thing is a unit. Super, super sick. Everything about it. Just that logo right there, the handle, like with all the grooves, the screws they use. I don't know if those are, high quality screws, but it feels like an absolute unit of a thing. And the blade is super, super sleek. I cannot say enough good things about it. For $30, this thing feels like an absolute machine. I haven't gotten to use it very much. We're in the winter times. I do plan on going camping here soon, and we'll take it out there and see how it does against some marshmallow bags. The D2, the little D2 right there, just made me almost cry. So out of all these, this one is my favorite so far. Just feels the best. The handle feels great, the blade feels great, and we'll definitely be replacing these. All of these, this one's going to Sandy. These two will just, probably be in my camping bags or whatever. Alrighty, so a portable light. This has been probably my favorite thing to add to my person. Although it is probably one of my least used items, it's still one of my favorites to use. I know we have phones, all right, but the phone is a phone. And a portable light, even if it's a cheap one, cheapo, I mean, the one that is on your screen is $1. So even if it's a cheap $1 light, it's still better than, your phone light. I was gonna list a bunch of things where, you could use this anytime. It's dark, you could use it. For example, I bought these mostly when I was out camping. And now in my day-to-day, I don't really need them. So I do feel a little bit, kind of like a dork when I put it on and I'm just running out to Walmart. But nonetheless, it's still nice to have because I needed to adjust my headlights, and bada boom, bada bing, we had something to light up said thing. This is one of those things where I would like for some help. I'm looking for a better light. My budget, $50, I think, pretty reasonable. Pocket carry, something that uses batteries, I think is best. Rechargeable if it actually has a good battery and it'll last a good time. I do want a new one, something a little bit maybe sleeker, maybe a flat design. I know Olight has some pretty cool ones, but also the clip, I would like for the clip to be reversible, you know, like a clip going this way and then going backwards. That'd be pretty sick. That's honestly something that I'd be down to try out. So lights, super sick. This one I take to work and I use it to pry things open. This one right here was about $1. I bought like 3 of them, I think. This tape, I don't know. I thought it would just help me out a little bit. I use it at work to pry things sometimes because I don't know why, but I just do, and it works. I will say today it was failing me a little bit, so this one on the other hand has been an absolute trooper. Coast. It's a Walmart special. Super sleek, super easy. I don't like the red, but you know, we'll do. We'll manage. I did find that, you know, I was working on the truck and I wish I could flip this around, and then I did, but it wasn't very, it didn't work too well. I'll just say that. It kind of like poked you in the head. It didn't work great. So if there was one that had a, you know, a reversible clip or a clip that went both ways, that would be absolutely money. They claim 1,000 lumens. I don't know how true it is. I really don't care. I just needed something that is a little bit brighter than the iPhone and a little bit more direct, because the iPhone will kind of just spread light in every direction, but this is more focused, which I like. So this to me is going to be hard to beat. You guys are going to recommend some stuff and I'm going to check it out, but this one is my go-to light, and we'll see if I can replace it. Holy moly. This has been my newest addition to what I carry. I bought it originally to carry at work because I need, you know, a little bit of a tool. Sometimes, you know, the Civivi just doesn't do what a multi-tool will do. If you need a screwdriver, a flathead, you need to pry things. A knife is really made to cut. You can use it to pry things, but as far as safety goes, if you're prying something and something chips, I'm not saying Civivi would, but I don't want that flying back in my eyeball. So having an actual prying tool is absolutely money. So I did my research, and this Gerber NXT is my second multi-tool. The first one, well, I lost it, but it was cheap, Walmart, and well, I thought, you know what, whatever. This one though feels so good. I remember being a little kid and finding, you know, a multi-tool that my dad had, or maybe my grandpa, and I thought I could probably build a house with this thing. This thing feels that way. It reminds me of having a really good quality tool and just being like almost proud of it and like very happy to have it. One thing, a little bit nitpicky, but again, it's a tool. It looks like it's bending a little bit. It may just be me. It's not that big a deal. It doesn't affect the performance, of course, but just thought I'd mention it. See if when you get yours, if it's the same way. I'll leave a link down below. That's like my number one thing that I recommend out of all of this stuff is that multi-tool. It's an absolute unit. When you compare it to, you know, a pocket knife, they're about the same size, and the knife on this one is ridiculously sharp. I already nicked myself once with it, so yeah, Amazon boxes and my middle finger don't stand a chance to it. It really depends on like what you are doing with it, right? Me personally at work, I do sometimes need these tools, and having that tool at my, you know, at my waist is super handy. If you're just going to Walmart, I wouldn't. I did carry it a couple of times to Walmart and realized that I was a little bit of a dork for doing it because I didn't need it at Walmart. If I did though, I'd be upset that I didn't bring it. But nonetheless, I think it's going to be my tool that I take with me to camp. If I'm going camping, then for sure, but if not, the Civivi is going to be my go-to. I'm curious, if you carry either one, which one do you go to more often and why? Me personally, I think if I was like more of a handyman on a daily basis, then I would go with this one. But I'm not, so I go with this one. But I'm curious. It's really hard because they're almost the same width. Like they're right there. And the length is not that much different. And if you carry on your waist, it you can't tell. So these things are super solid. I cannot say enough good things about it. It is by far my favorite thing. So let's continue. Next up is belts. I didn't think I would include this, but since I'm home, I thought, well, I have them, so might as well show them off. I know people can get pretty technical about, their belt and how it was made out of I don't know, like alligator skin or whatever, but I just needed a belt that works. The first one, this one right here, I bought it off of an advertisement that I saw on YouTube, which is crazy. First advertisement that I saw that actually made me buy. This next one, I have no idea where I got it from. It's brown. I like the color brown. It's super stretchy and it feels decent quality. I like it a lot. I cannot complain. But when I am going out camping and stuff, I would like to have something a little bit heavier duty, higher quality, and it's going to need to be able to carry, you know, a banana. I had a banana in the first couple of shots and that banana has since gone old. I need a belt. I'm looking for a belt, high quality belt. So it doesn't matter what it looks like. It just needs to be able to perform. So I'm looking for something, you know, to hold up a little bit of weight, you know, comfortable, not too thick, not too thin. So comment down below. Let me know what belt you run and how long you've had it. That's a very important thing. Also your body size. If you're like, you know, 120 pounds, or if you're 250 pounds, that kind of matters on the person. I feel like me, I'm 155 pounds, 5'9", 5'10" on a good day. So yeah, let me know down below. All right, so I put this at the very end of the video because I'm hoping that most people around me that are just being nosy haven't gotten to this part of the video. It is obviously not a banana, but I don't want to lose all the money that I make on this YouTube channel, which is around $200 a month, which is a lot of money, as you know. It's a 12+1, you know, cheapo Amazon holster. I've been carrying it since I believe like I was 21 and I've had no complaints. I will say the brand is Taurus, G3C. Look, say what you want, right? When I first turned, you know, of age, I really wanted to try it out. I didn't want to spend the money on bigger brand names, so I didn't. I just went with this one, and I kid you not, whatever, I don't know, I want to say like 100 rounds minimum a month since then. And that's minimum. I sometimes I spent too much. Never once did it misfire. Never once did it jam. The only problem I had was the sight came loose, but I tightened it back up and we were good to go. So that is also something I'm considering trading because I don't know, not trading, but upgrading to, you know, more reputable brand Glock maybe. Let me know what you carry. I think the reason I want to go to a Glock is because of the customizability, but then again, it just works. So I may just get it and just keep it stock for, you know, however long, but seeing people's accuracy with red dot kind of makes me jealous. So I may slap a red dot on the Glock and go from there. Nonetheless, let me know.